Morning. Long overdue getting here. So we're just going to pick up some of our paints while we wake up with some coffee, and then we'll get on to doing some a short painting session. It's Saturday morning, so I have to break off at in about an hour and go wake up the daughter. But let's get something done. I've got nothing done all week. I could say it's getting harder and harder to get painting done during the week, but it can't get much harder because I'm already not painting any Monday through Friday. So, okay, let's move these guys out of the way. And this is a crowd that formed at the end of the day last Sunday. This is the Hungarian Nights so far. Well, the ones in the wedge anyways, because there's other ones. So, yeah, that's what we got. We got 3 more guys to do. And that's these folks. That's these folks right here. Okay, so sticking with my original plan of, boy, that looks terrible on the orange. Let's get rid of that. Sticking with my original plan, we've been painting the 2 figures that look the same. So the last figure we completed was this fellow right here. So we're going to paint the same figure next. Okay. It's the same, the horse is different, but the actual mounted figure is the same, and then we'll do the same with these 2 down here. And we're not going to finish them in this painting session. That's just reality, but we'll see how far we can go. Now, let's see how our paints are doing after a week of being in here all by themselves. Okay. All right. A little bit of morning coffee. And then we'll go ahead and get started. We went ahead and painted the metallic things on this guy. Kind of save us a step. And as always, we need to go ahead and add this some of the magic juice here. Their brush thinner. We've used maybe 1/10 of this bottle, so that's good. That's lasting a long time. That stuff's expensive, but I'll be buying it again. Definitely, I feel like it made a difference. Maybe it's just psychological, but that's there we go. Okay, right. So this guy's shield was a blue and white, so this guy's probably not going to have a blue shield. Let's see, what did we do? Is we did like a reddish, a burnt reddish color. So this guy looks like a candidate for like a green one, a light green coat. All right. Let's see what we got here. You can use this green and just lighten it up. There's no reason I have to go to some really light green when I can just make it a light green. You have more flexibility when you start with a more full color and then lighten it or whatever to it than just starting with something that doesn't give you any flexibility. In other words, use something like this and then lighten it up instead of use a color that's already like this and you don't have much to go. If you think about it this way, this is a green that has a lot of white already in it, and you can't take that out. So if you use something like this, you can decide how much of it to put in. But once you go like this, you can't make this a more full color. You could darken it, in which case you're going to get some kind of a gray. but it's going to go gray a little bit. So we'll decide to go with this. There's my rationale for doing that. Does it really matter that much? Nah, not really. Just go with your gut and use what you feel like using. So we're going to come over here to the flush land. And what are you trying to say? I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to wake up just babbling nonsense. How about that? I'm not truly awake until I'm on my second cup of coffee. Until then, there's no telling what you're going to get. All right, so we're going to go ahead and paint a flesh on him because that's really not going to divert in a different direction. It's still going to be, and there's not much on this guy. All it is his chin, and that's about it. That's about all there is. Let's adjust this a little bit. My old creaky light. Not that old, just for whatever reason it likes to. Hey, come over here. All right. That's it, because he's a gloved dude. He wants to do his business and not get his hands dirty. Okay. Man, it's all in my business. I just have it doing all these little layers. I mean, all it is an upper lip and a jaw. That's like the only thing there's to paint on this guy. All right, it's still alive. Yay. Not going to have many more opportunities left the rest of this year to paint. I can tell you that already. Well, it's obvious it's towards the end of the year. But we're going out of town this weekend, so there'll be no Sunday painting. Unless something changes in the next couple hours. And what else? Then next week's going to be a nightmare with work. And we're supposedly open a half day on the 23rd. And then I'm off the 24th through the 1st. So my first vacation pretty much all year. Well, we had a 4-day weekend over Thanksgiving because the plant was closed, but and it took 3 days at the beginning of November. 2 days, 3 days, something like that. That's what it was. I took the 3 days of the Thanksgiving week, so that was a long week. And I took a day on that 4th of July, but that was it. I had to not use half of my vacation this year, so it's too busy. Got to slow this economy down for some of us. I know some people are sitting at home, not doing anything, bored, out of work. I'm on the other end. Figures, I got a hobby I'd love to do. Oh no, I'm stuck home for months. Oh darn, I'll just work on my hobby. No, none of that for me. Okay, right, so they're pretty much done with that. Let's go ahead and do the main color on him with this green that we talked about. Yeah, every year the last 2013 was busier than 12. 14 was busier than. It's been busier and busier every year. So I'm ready for it to slow down a bit. Got a new project I'd like to work on, and I'm not going to work on it until things slow down. So it's kind of one of those things, you're going to get interrupted, so you just don't even start it. Now, this is pretty dark. I don't know where we're going to go with this, but let's just put this nearly just a hint of green, dark shade color here for his. I don't know if calling this a robe would be accurate, but it's kind of like a long shirt, an overshirt, a gown. We just, as predicted, we just this last week we had a announcement that our local convention for in Orlando, localish, it's an hour and a half away. It's our most local convention. Late April convention has been canceled. So, as predicted, I suspected the same thing that happened in 2020, which is the year of no conventions. Well, 2020 was the year of no conventions and and basically no vacation. So I already figured that's going to be the same case next year. So I'm going to be trying to take a day here and a day there off, so I don't have the end of the year where I can't use my vacation. So I just hate taking a day off for no reason, just to sit around. So good morning, Harvey. Or eh, good afternoon. Not nearly, right? You guys are at about 11 o'clock. So it's past tea time though. So with that in mind, knowing what surprises 2020 had for everyone, I suspect 2021 will be the same. I think it's going to be worse, but that's just me. Hopefully not, but I don't have any high expectations. So I'm going to have to start taking a day off and a day here, so I don't, you know, try to use my vacation for something meaningful, and then that meaningful thing never happens at the end of the year, which is what happened this year. I was like, well, maybe we'll go somewhere in December. And then we had December the 8th was the week I was going to be gone. And it just got it's the busiest week we've ever had. In 26 years of working there, it's never been busier. So I'm like, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take that week off. Other things kind of happened that kind of made that decision also kind of go in that direction as well. But I guess it all kind of worked out that it didn't work out. I don't know. But we know what's gonna expected next year is about the same thing. So we're not gonna wait until the end of the year to have vacation days and not use them, because I just hate taking a day off to sit. And the funny thing is the days that I took off during Thanksgiving, we moved our game day to the day that Marty was going to come up. We moved it to November. I figured, well, I could spend all day with him or whatever, and I guess it was the right play. But those days that I took off, and I was off alone, the wife was still working, I felt guilty. I felt guilty every freaking day off. So it's like it bothers me that not only do I not have time to take I don't have very many days that I took off this year. I took off less than half of my vacation, and really couldn't carry any of them over. When I did take them off, I felt guilty for taking them off. And it's like, man, this is just freaking torturous, you know? Um, so, anyhow, maybe I'll just drink next year, and then I won't feel guilty. I feel guilty for taking a day off, and then there's people that don't have enough to do. So, oh well, I'll get over it. Yeah, so we know what kind of nonsense is going to happen in 2021 now, after seeing how 2020 went. So I'm not one of those that believes that, oh, it was because it was the year. Nah, it's not the year. It's what they made it. Whoever they may be. So yeah, so the first convention for April is canceled. So I suspect, even before they said that, I'm not surprised. I suspect that Historicon will also be canceled, and so will our convention in the fall. So I expect no good things to happen convention wise this year. I'll tell you one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do a video saying what we have planned, because as soon as we did that, the first time we did that, you know, this shit hit the fan. So we won't be doing that. It's obviously out of our control what we're going to run at conventions, because hell, they may not even be any. Have you tried the whiskey diet? I did. Lost 3 days. So, interesting story. Back in 2019 and earlier, when we cruised every year, not every year, but we did for, I did the math the other day. We took 10 cruises, I think. Or I took 10 cruises. Anyhow, I drink on a cruise more than anywhere at any other time. I also have less of a buzz on a cruise than I do anywhere else. And I also lose weight every week. We take week cruises. I lose weight every time I cruise. Not a lot, but a couple 3 pounds. Well, you're doing a lot of walking, and food's available everywhere, so you don't have to overeat. It's not like it's lunchtime. Let's get it all in because we're not going to be able to eat for another 6 hours. So, but yeah, I don't think I ever have I don't think I ever have a buzz on a cruise, because it's not a race. Like I like to say, you may have heard me say this before. I don't need to drink when I'm on a cruise. I need to drink at work. Okay. It's never a bad day on a cruise. So, yeah, I lose weight when I go on a cruise. And I don't remember, I'm sure I've had a buzz, but it's not very often. And I'm probably drinking, I don't know, 12 drinks a day, maybe. But, not all at once. It's just part of the experience. I don't know. It's all included. We get that drink package, and then you don't worry about it. Do I get my money's worth? Probably not, but it's something else I don't have to worry about. If you're paying $15 a drink, you're like, nah, I don't really need another one. So, whiskey diet. Funny story. This we filmed on Monday. I didn't have a drink. I didn't drink any alcohol, and I think the next day I had a headache. Go figure. No, whiskey does me good for whatever reason. Just drinking that on the rocks, I'll feel great the next day. I drink a couple of beers. I'm all out of whack. I get dehydrated is what I should say. I have one of those dehydration headaches, and I have to overhydrate afterwards. It's kind of annoying. So expect to see some whiskey next week. Let's keep adding a little bit more white. This white's pretty dried out, but it works okay for what I'm doing. Yeah, so this is going to end up being a light color anyways. I just like the ability of lighting it up how I need to. It's instead of just being a color that I can't really mess with because it's gotten as dark as it is. But yeah, this week was extremely challenging. I'm glad it's over at work. So we should be able to paint today, not tomorrow, probably not next week, unless I can sneak one in while everybody's asleep. And then after between Christmas and the New Year's, we're traveling. We're going to go somewhere cold. Hopefully, it better be cold. It was cold this week here. It got into the 30s. Well, I call that nice weather, but then you got to be at work, and those sons of bitches will run the heater at 74, which is criminal. So I like cold days when I'm not at work. That way I can enjoy the free air conditioning. Like somebody had asked me about a couple of weeks ago, was I going to get these guys done by Christmas? Nope, no way in hell. I knew what was coming, or how much painting time wasn't coming, so yeah, definitely not done by Christmas. They'll get done when they get done. I promise I won't start another army until these guys are complete, so that'll take however long it takes. However long it takes. That was last Saturday after I did my Saturday morning paint session. Yeah, they went out for the day and went car shopping, and I was surprised that there was no cars. Wow, I forget that stuff's going on. I really do. Until I go to a store, but not at work, not at home or at work. Why would I think that was going on at work? We're busier than we've ever been. I wonder what the overall status of the gaming industry was in 2020. I bet it did better than normal. I know Amazon probably did better than anybody else. Okay, we're done with him. Let's give him some gloves. We didn't do the super light colored gloves on this on the other guy, so we'll do that on this one. Thank you. That's what. That's why I make these lids that come stay on really well. I don't like fumbling things. Nobody likes a fumbler. The fumbler. That sounds like Spider-Man shitty villain. Okay. Even without this painting that we haven't done, because I haven't painted since Sunday of last week, I'm still getting more painting done this year than any other year. I mean, it's not even close. So, and it's thanks to videos like this, honestly. Keeps me on track. Keeps me from just saying, oh, let me go play some more whatever it is that I'm playing. Had a few minutes to myself in the evening, and instead of painting, which is too late for me to paint at freaking 9 o'clock at night. It's just way too late. Been doing a little bit of Xbox gaming that I haven't done very much in 2020 at all. So let's be lazy. We're going to do his boots the same color. How about that? They're made of leather too. But whereas this is therapeutic, playing games on a video game are not therapeutic for me. They can be fun, but man, it's so frustrating. It's frustrating because you want to do one thing and you do something else because you press the wrong button. That kind of frustrating. So a figure fidgeter. Oh, you mean nobody likes a fumbler or a figure fidgeter? What do you mean by a figure fidgeter? Somebody who touches miniatures inappropriately. That's what it sounds like. And that's not what you mean. Yeah, I don't like fumbling things at all. Fortunately, that's usually not me. I don't trip over things. I don't fall down. I don't drop things. Good. You figure fidgeter. Player who can't leave the bases alone, keeps moving it ever so slightly. Oh, there's that ever so slightly. Now you just got to work in rutabaga. Oh wait, I said it. You mean people that move farther than they're supposed to? Yeah, that reminds me of one person in particular, not in our gaming group. I couldn't put up with that. I don't know how you live with yourself to being that dishonest. I mean, you got to know you're being dishonest. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I should have been born in the Middle Ages. Like, you did what? That's it. Do it. Broadswords at 10 paces. I heard a story. I don't know if it's true because I heard it. I have no reason to believe it's not true, but before I was playing this game, this three-letter game that I play now all the time, I was told that at one of the conventions, a certain person was caught cheating using a die that didn't, and they were switching, using a die that was weighted improperly and was switching dice. And the person that told me this had a long, it was a long story. It wasn't like, yeah, this person did this and that's the end of the story. It was like, told me how it progressed and everything. And I'm not going to tell it to you because I'd probably get the details wrong, but it seemed very credible. And I'm like, who the hell does that? Who the hell cheats at a game where you don't win anything? And because I could see, okay, I cheat one game and I win so much money that I don't have to ever work again. Okay, maybe, and I'm never going to see these people again, but this is banned on my honor code. Like, you know, if you cheat and you beat somebody, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's like, what's the, I don't see what the point is, but I guess there's freaking losers all the world around. I'm glad they're not in our great game group. That'd be intolerable. I'd go find another hobby. I would find another hobby. Player who moves his element, then goes back to it, moves its facing by a mill, then maybe moves it again. Oh, well, that's different. So they're not necessarily cheating. Moves the element, then goes back to it, moves its facing by a mill, then maybe moves it again. Well, as long as you're not moving farther than, I don't know, maybe we all do that a little bit. I think in the rule book it says once you move a unit, you can't take it back or something like that. But we try to mark where it is. I mean, it is just a friendly game as long as you're not being devious. I don't see what the problem is, but I don't think we do a whole lot of that. The thing we probably do the most of in our group that other people would frown upon is we just play all cocked dice because it's just nonsense to just re-roll them. The whole problem with rolling a cocked dice is that you want to re-roll it when it doesn't favor you, but then when it does, you want to play it. Well, that's just inconsistent. That could be with how you apply a rule, anyways. That's just a moral problem with the individual. That's not a cocked dice problem. D6s are the most. Any other die is becomes even harder to play a cocked dice with than D6. D6 is pretty easy, straightforward to see what side's facing up. So we've just always done that. It's never been an issue for us. I know somebody that I used to play with that they were famous for rolling a die when it knew it was their turn coming up for pips. And they'd roll like a one. And then, oh, we forgot one combat. So he'd go back and re-roll for that combat. And it was something else. And then he would pick up the die when it was time for roll of pips. and roll a one and roll it again, not take the one, which if you've noticed us doing in our games, we recognize that that one was your pip die when you intended to roll for it. So the person doesn't really play with us anymore, but I thought that was odd. You know what you're doing, dude. You won't raise that poorly that you don't know the difference. I don't know. Maybe I'm just blessed to have people with a high moral code to be able to do that. A lot of the thing is you can't hold yourself to a certain level, and then you can't hold other people to that level and then not practice it yourself. So you can't call people on things and then they don't apply to you as well. So if you want to re-roll all dice, that's fine, just as long as you're consistent. I just don't like the idea of rolling something on a die, knowing what it is, and on a technicality, you don't get to play it because you got to see what it is. It's the same reason that I don't like, what's that board game that everybody loves except me? Combat Commander. Because you have this card where there's no die rolls in it. So you pull a card to see what the effects are, and then you look down here at the bottom of the card and it'll say, here's your card will be like this. And at the bottom here, the card will be these numbers, and that's what you use as your die roll, so to speak. But meanwhile, you see whatever else is on the card, which may be something really cool, like an ambush or a Stuka attack or something that you'll never get to play because you got to see it. So it's kind of the same thing. It bothers me because I get to see other things. It's not just a die roll that I don't get to play, which would be the case for rolling a cocked dice. Like that could have been a 6, but since you don't play cocked dice, now you just got to see that it was a tease of a 6, and you don't really get to play that. So I'd rather just play whatever it is that you see and just be consistent. So I've learned it's not what game you play, it's who you play that makes the difference. You're absolutely correct. Hans Zieten, welcome. Well, the Germans are filling up the place again. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the video or whatever. We play, and I'm the only non-German playing there. Well, the only person that not without a German surname. Let's leave it at that. They say they're German. They might not even be, but they have a German surname. So that's okay. My people are not historical enemies of the Germans. We're all good here. Oh, got no problem with them. My people. I use that selectively. I like it. Okay, strappings. This guy needs some colorful strappings. Do you have anybody with red? No. This guy's a candidate for red strappings. Strappage. Strappagery. That's what I call it. I don't know what the real name for it is. Accoutrements. Harness. That's the correct word. Harnessing. Harnesses. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make my own set of rules, and it's going to all use terminology with the made up words I like to say. Impetuate, and that's my favorite one, actually. Impetuate. Those things you say that you would never write. I'm guilty of it. I say things that I would never write if I was writing even an email or something like that. I'm not ignorant. I just sound ignorant. all have those things, I'm sure. I had a guy I used to work with, and his word was releasal. So we're waiting on a job to receive releasal. Although I think he probably, knowing the person that it was, he probably didn't know any better. But and I got another guy now that he'll send things down and he'll call a job. This is an adder. What, as opposed to an asp? You mean an addition? You know. But he writes it down. I wouldn't write down. I wouldn't write down impetuate. I would if I was making my own rules, though, just to maybe to screw with people. let's let's not forget. Let's go ahead and do something and not forget to do it for once. And that's going to be to go ahead and paint the reins in the same dark color, even though we're going to bring it up at a different level. It just saves us some time. Some time, not a whole lot, just some. Did the TV series Blackadder make it over there? Lots of great words and sayings there. Coddling grinder being one. It did. Um, in It did make it over here, but I have to watch everything with subtitles, especially foreign things, just because of the pace of the stuff. But I watch everything with subtitles, even if we're watching sitcoms. So yeah, I just need to find it. I don't think it's on Netflix or Hulu or any of those. I may be able to. I want to say I started watching it and something distracted me, and but yeah, I've got to watch everything with subtitles. So as I'll end up missing it, especially if there's colloquialism type things from the UK and stuff. Yeah, I want to say I saw a couple of episodes. Like it starts what in the with the guy that's related to in the War of the Roses time period. It starts in that time. I want to say I saw a couple of episodes and then just forgot about it. There's just so many darn things to watch that I don't watch much television except like at lunchtime. And then what will happen is I won't remember what to watch, and I'll watch one thing, and then as soon as I get back from lunch, I realize, oh, I was supposed to finish watching this other show, not start a new one, or surf videos, or I spend a lot of time on YouTube at lunchtime usually. So yeah, I forget. There's just so many damn things to watch. But the problem is there's so many things to watch when something doesn't become 100% awesome, you just kind of lose interest and go somewhere else. And that's kind of what was happening before I was doing these painting videos. I'd put my phone down while I was painting and I would just have something on YouTube, right? And I'd spend a half hour trying to find the perfect thing to watch while I was painting. And then 5 minutes into everything, and I would change to something else, I wouldn't get any painting done. So just the fact that I'm just filming this, maybe you guys can get some value out of it, but I am just by the fact that it keeps me on track and continually painting instead of looking for the next best thing. So yeah, so So many things to watch. And I don't really like television because it's not very interactive. So I tend to fall asleep while I'm watching it, regardless of whether or not I've just eaten. Of course, it doesn't help if I've just eaten, but yeah, I prefer something more interactive. So I'd rather play a game or, something where I get to make decisions, not like everything's already done for me. It's just a matter of me finding out what it is. It's a little too, I don't know if that makes any sense. I enjoy something that's more interactive, brain stimulating. Let's put it that way. Coddling grinders. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. I guess I'd have to watch it to find out. This is a very orange red. Well, we'll make it work. We'll see how it ends up. And if we don't like it, we'll just repaint the mother then. I don't want everything in the same shade of red anyway, so that's not a problem. Speaking of Blackadder, oh, I don't know if you're still on. Hold on. I'll pull it for you. I don't know why I just thought about this then. This place, our local, our local pub, which we really didn't have a pub until this place. This is literally, they've had this, it makes it look very English looking on the inside. It looks like somebody's home. Anyways, Blackadder Brewing Company. This is local here in town, so really cool place. And it's the same Blackadder logo and everything. So I guess the owner was a fan. I'm gonna guess. So I don't know why it took me that long to think about that. Well, I hadn't been there in a couple of years, so no. Last time we went there, we decided to do a DBA game there. I think it was around Easter or something like that. Not, I think it was 2018. I figured, well, maybe we'd put some kind of a game on and some people would see and walk up and wonder what it's about. Yeah, nobody came over. Well, that's disappointing. And that's why this country sucks. We put on a cool game with miniatures and at a pub and nobody comes over and takes a look at what we're doing. That's it. Death to America. That was the last time we went in there. That's not why that was the last time we went in there. It was just, I don't really go to bars. I like them. I just don't like the people that frequent them. Although this place is very family oriented. You could bring your kid and everything. It's a great place, honestly. It's a great place. And they sell small portions of beverages. So if you want to try some new brew that they have, they make it, I think, I know they do a 4 ounce. They might do a 2. I don't remember. Maybe 4 is the smallest they do, but yeah, a couple bucks for something. Or, yeah, I guess that's what it is. Let's see. You've done hundreds of hours of painting to your DBA game videos, so I can concur that's great for painting. Excellent. Excellent, Hans. Painting über alles. Excellent. Yeah, there was a. What got me doing this was, well, first of all, a camera that could do it. You know, once I upgraded to a Samsung 8 Plus, that's what it did it. But I was watching several folks, and one of them in particular was an English gentleman who's. I just liked having him on. Yeah, a lot of people got me doing this, and I don't watch those people anymore because I'm making my own videos. But that doesn't mean that their videos aren't good. But there's an English gentleman in particular that I liked having him on because he had a very calm voice, very even meter, and it was just kind of relaxing. It was kind of like my painting yoga, so to speak. So he was on there. There's another guy that does game reviews, same thing. Just nice to have in the background. Nothing controversial, just having them in the background. So I did quite a bit of painting, and I'm like, you know, I can kind of and they talked about things very slow. So it wasn't like I had to look up from my painting every 5 seconds or 10 seconds or 30 seconds. It was usually they would have just something that their camera was filming something and the thing they were filming wasn't moving. They were just kind of talking over it kind of thing. So not a very exciting video, but very good for the purposes that I had for it. So just like these videos that I do are not very exciting. My game videos are exciting. These aren't very exciting, but you know, yeah, just put it on the background and just have something to listen to and enjoy the monologue. No, but I figured, well, if this person can do this and get viewers, yeah, maybe I can do it as well. And that was with the old phone. Now this new phone is just unreal. It can do all kinds of stuff. So, and the phones are expensive. So if you find another use for your phone, you could justify its cost a little more. So I make videos with mine. So what I use it for the least is making phone calls. So, you know, it's a personal computer. So the fact that you can justify it for use in different subject matters is useful. Unfortunately, we can't do this in 1080 because YouTube decides that since you're using mobile streaming, you're not worthy of anything better than 720, which is ridiculous because my upload speed is insane. My upload and download speed on my phone has always been insane, and it got even insaner. Yeah, I'm max 5G, so I mean, I could have the Eiffel Tower up my ass and I wouldn't have a better reception, you know, so, but for whatever reason, if I use the local Wi-Fi here at home, it's 1/100th as strong, and I'm not exaggerating. I have the world's best mobile signal and one of the worst Wi-Fis at home. But that's just one of those things. So, anyways, enjoy it in 720 if you can. But I'm assuming there's a good signal in Paris to justify the Eiffel Tower to make that comparison work. Okay, so we did this. I'm not sure I love it. Let's look at a pure red type thing and look at the straps. Nah, it'll work. It's a little orangish. That's all right. This guy's a commoner. He can't afford the really expensive dyes. Come on, what do you want from him? He's trying to make a living. Okay, so this is like the color that we painted everything. We're going to go ahead and lighten this up. And this is what we're going to use as the color of the reins. How are we looking like? We got another 5 minutes, and I'm going to work up the Deuta. And then we'll be back for the last 15. Yep. Early painting, early swimming year round. So, synchronized swimming, actually. My stomach growling. It says it's ready for my second breakfast. Yeah, I know. Okay, so now we have the little dicky thing that we're going to put on him. What did we use on this one? We used almost pure white. So let's use an off-white. Oh, we could just use this buff color and lighten it up. How close is this to the color of the horse? Too close. Let's do this one. That's damn near the same color. What's wrong with me? Let's use that one. It's a little bit yellow. That's a weird color. It's like ice yellow or something like that. Is that what it's called? That's the one, ice yellow. This is one of those that I picked up that was been sitting on a shelf for so long. Look how it's separated. And even with a whatchamacallit in there. Actually, I don't know if there's one in there. Oh, there's no hope. Look at the tip. It had dry rotted, so I picked this thing up after it had been sitting on a shelf for a long time, I think. I can see why. This is not a popular color. But we're going to use this as the base color. We have great internet here in Europe. We're waiting for you to catch up. Hey, I'm not going to complain. Lots of people have good internet here, just not us. It's not available in here. It's a monopoly. Like, well, we're not gonna offer what is it called? Fiber optic. They don't have fiber optic in our neighborhood. That's all it would take. We'd pay for it. We use the hell out of internet. I don't care about TV. Use the hell out of internet. But I'd rather have a good phone signal than the other way around, because I pretty much have 5G just about everywhere. Waiting for us to catch up. Well, we don't want to pay the taxes for it. How about that? Hey, I don't want to be anywhere in Europe right now. You guys are like shut down to the max. And this nonsense is going to go on another 5 years. Or forever. Mark my words. Hope I'm wrong. Hope I'm wrong. But, yep, our first convention already canceled for April of next year, and I'm not surprised. I suspect they will all be canceled. This will be another year of no conventions. So, I mean, it might as well be a year of no conventions if all you can do is have 40 people, or you have to be 20 feet away from each other, or, just cancel the whole damn thing. Just let me know when we're back to 2019. We'll participate again when we have our 2019 rights again. Meanwhile, we'll just keep making videos. It's not like I'm going to stop making videos, so. Or painting, or playing a DBA-sized game. I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure I'm always going to play a DBA-sized game. Maybe it'll be a different version of DBA. whatever the hell that means. And they might make DBA 4. We'll play that. And still making videos, so until YouTube decides to charge me for each video I make, nah, we're still going to do videos. They're a lot of fun to do, and they're fun to look back and see what happens. So if you guys are enjoying them, then you got nothing to worry about. This last year was actually the year we were going to go to Europe. That didn't pan out. It's okay. I'm over it. I get to interact with you folks anyways. I wouldn't have liked anybody there. You know, it's only the people that interact in the hobby from Europe that I care for. So, you know, it all worked out for the better. I'd end up running people into Europe and they'd be ignorant and wouldn't know about their own history. So what's the point? Like, hey, who lives in that castle? I don't know. What? You don't know the history of that castle? Nope. Screw you, pal. I'm going to go visit my friends on the internet. Okay, it's 6:40. I got to go wake up the child. I got to go wake up Grogu. And I'll be right back with some other coffee for the last 15 minutes. Stay tuned. Okay. The 20-minute countdown continues. Let's see. Let's see what I missed. Nothing. You guys all fell asleep. Perfect. Okay. No, not much time to paint. That's why when I was able to get that marathon 9.5 hour painting session in, I jumped on that. I don't know that I got that much stuff done, but it was fun for me. I think that was before the Hungarians. I think I was finishing up the Irish when that happened. Trying to decide what I was going to do next. Got to get your painting in while you can. if you heard that. Why is a guy on a motorcycle that loud? These damn Harleys are so freaking loud. They cost more than my car. I don't have a cheap car, but I had to use a two-wheel vehicle for too many years for my own only transportation, known as a bicycle. So I sure as hell am not going to pay a lot of money to be. Many days I was rained out and stuff, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with that stuff again. I certainly wouldn't pay that kind of money to be rained out. Not doing that again. If you guys are fans of that Mandalorian, go watch that. Go watch it before everybody ruins the ending for you. I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but just go watch it. If you're fans of it, if not, I'm not really a science fiction person, but you know, I watch that. I watch that stuff with a daughter, and yeah, it was a good ending. Let's put it that way for the season. So go check that out if that's your thing. Before somebody gives it away, and then I warned you. Let's go here. Okay. No, we started on his gloves and never finished them. What a slacker. What a slacker. That's one good thing about our restrictions. God, we knew you're looking at it wrong. Got lots of painting done as there's nowhere to go. Yeah. I get to go everywhere. Except they put restrictions on you what you have to do when you get there. But then you can just choose, nah, I don't want to go there. It's not worth it. But pretty much everywhere is open. But it's not a problem Monday through Friday. I just want to go home. I'm burned out. I'm burned out Monday through Friday. And we're not having it restrict our game night, so. I've been the healthiest this year that I've been any year I can think of. I'm just not doing any traveling, not getting germs from other places. So, imagine if you were dating. How do you deal with that? I just wish I could work some days from home. It's a 0% chance of that happening where I work. So the good thing about having nowhere to go is the cost and how much money you saved. Or maybe you spend it on the hobby. Maybe not so good, but it's got to be cheaper than going places. Went to take my car in for servicing a couple weeks ago, and they said, "Oh yeah, there's a recall on your water pump, but we don't have the part in. We don't know when we're going to get it in." And I told them, "Well, you better figure it out in the next 6 months. It's not going to be my problem. My lease is up, so you'll have to switch it out. Not my problem." I lighten this up a little bit more. Looks even better. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. And the more I'm messing with this guy, the better I'm liking him. That's good. That's how it should be, right? We're gonna have to find a pattern for his shield. It's probably gonna be simple like the other one. Simple, because these guys are just mercenaries, so. think I did the Nuln Oil on this guy. Yeah, that looks like it has it on it. Let's get that other metallic color. Iron Breaker. I don't really use Games Workshop paints, mainly because we have one store here in town that has them, and they're like always out of stock. And I don't really need any paints, but their metallics are excellent. They weren't for that one little time period there in the middle a few years ago, but they're back to being good now. So they're my go-to for metallics. You don't need much of this. There still is no perfect paint container. Every paint container has issues. Every one of them. Let's see. I forget to do the stirrups on this guy. I was thinking there was a guy I had forgotten to do the stirrups on, but maybe I was wrong. I thought I made a mistake, but I was mistaken. So we should have a game on Monday night. Not 100% sure what it'll be. We're close. I'm not going to spoil the fun for you guys. But not the following Monday. Be out of town on the following Monday. So. Okay. Let's go ahead and do out of town and not in a gaming mode. We got time to do this? I'm gonna go make sure she's awake. We'll sneak in a scabbard. How about that? We'll sneak a scabbard in here. And then that's going to be a wrap. So this is where we leave off. Yes, yes, yes. I'm hungry. I got it. A little bit more white. So hopefully you guys got some painting done during this session. No, I did. And don't think we'll get a chance to do any painting until maybe none next week, but I'm going to try to work some in because, I want to get these guys done. Because as it stands, it'll be this guy and two more of these, and then we can start putting the wedge together. We'll put the wedge. We'll do these two wedge stands. We'll complete them before we move on to something else. But yeah, these are the three guys holding the whole thing up. So we'll try to get these guys complete here as soon as we can. But we'll just round up. It'll be by the end of January. It'll be done for sure. So anyhow, that's it for today. And I hope you guys enjoyed it and enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And we'll catch you guys next time. Until then, happy painting. Bye, folks.